It's another edition of Acoustic Alternatives. I'm John Bommarito from Grove Studios in Ypsilanti. This has been the home of the podcast since the fall of 2020 when they approached me about doing something here. It was a pandemic and there really wasn't much going on, and I was feeling sad about having lost my job, so I followed their advice and tried a podcast, and I think this is number 91 or something along that lines after my recent visit with another Michigan treasure, May Earlywine. This time, it is somebody I've been trying to track down for a couple of years, actually. He's a country soul rock and roll former welder and fan of cars, a tech school grad. Myron Elkins is here. Hello, Myron.
How are we doing?
I'm doing good. It's such a pleasure to have you here with me at Grove Studios for Acoustic Alternatives.
Absolutely. Happy to be over here. Just got back from some pretty hard traveling. Just now kind of getting home and catching up. So, yeah, it's fun to settle down.
Oh, good. Get back to the making music part of your... I guess you were making music.
Yeah.
You came back from Spain, right?
Yeah, we did Spain and Finland, and then as soon as we got off the plane, we had to shoot over to Minnesota. We played some shows over there, Red Wing and Rochester, and now we're back. We're about to play one of our favorite venues up in Cadillac, Michigan, Coyote Crossing, and we've been recording a little bit over here on the east side, and just constantly going.
Well, let's get, before we talk about you, one of your songs. Why don't we start with this song?
I'll do a song called God Bless the Rain. We just put out a record in June. We recorded it down in Memphis, Tennessee, and this is one of the ones we really liked coming out of there. Kind of had a little bit of the soul aspect to it that we love, and yeah, it's called God Bless the Rain. Well, I woke up this morning feeling 3 foot tall, my ear to rail, waiting on a call for somebody or something to help me out of this star of emotion. When the coffee hit my tongue, well, it didn't help me grow. Felt 2 inches shorter, just looking out my windows. I saw the sun hide and the rain come down. But it ain't no good to curse what you got. Boy, it ain't how you're raised. Are you thankful or not? God bless the TV for not leaving me lonely, and God bless the walls for keeping me warm. God bless the doors and knobs, all the windows and the locks, and God bless the phone, oh, the phone for not leaving me alone. God bless my pictures, and God bless the frames, oh, God bless the wind, and God bless the rain. Oh, God bless the rain, and God bless the rain. With the hope lost and a memory found, oh, mama said, come on, boy, now, don't you frown, for today and tomorrow holds what you don't know now. And then I slip away to a childhood mind where I tell you it's happiness I find of my beginnings and my family. This seems so far gone now, and it ain't no good cursing what you got. Boy, ain't how you're raised. Are you thankful or not? God bless the TV for not leaving me lonely, and God bless the walls for keeping me warm. God bless the doors and knobs, all the windows and the locks, and God bless the phone for not leaving me alone. And God bless my pictures. And God bless the frames. Oh, God bless the wind. And God bless the rain. Oh, God bless the rain. God bless the rain. Oh, God bless the rain. Oh, God bless the rain. Oh. All right.
It's a standout cut from Myron Elkins' new record, which is called Nostalgia for Sale, the track God Bless the Rain on Acoustic Alternatives. The new album, the second full-length record to follow the first one, which I actually have a physical copy of.
Yeah, there you go.
The second one doesn't appear to be on CD. It's vinyl only, digital only, is that correct?
Yeah, so I got picked up real early, you know. I was 19 when I ended up signing a deal, and last June we were let go and not really given much to work with, including I still don't have anything with my website or any access to that, and most things, honestly. So I was kind of just left by myself to pick up the pieces and just try to keep it going. And my cousin, Ricky, he's on that first record, and he's really been a rock for me. We packed up and went over to Memphis. It was a lot cheaper than Nashville at the time.
I bet.
And we cut that thing, man. I went broke probably about 8 times making it, just trying to pay bills in Nashville and record in Memphis, and still kind of keep some kind of touring going. But yeah, we got it done, and by the time we were ready to release it, I couldn't get nobody to touch it, nobody to look at it as far as the label goes, or
really?
any kind of any kind of industry. So we ended up putting it out and just using it, like a distro kid, distributor. And we put it out, and I'm just starting to kind of financially recover from a lot of the touring and the recording process of it. So we're hoping to have some physical copies out soon. But yeah, it was a whole whirlwind of things for the last probably year and a half of just like we were talking about before we started the paying the dues thing. So I feel like I'm catching up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this comes from the heart, and I don't say things like this if I don't mean them. The first record's second record technically, but the debut major label album is a good album.
Yeah.
But I actually find the new album to be much better.
Oh, thank you.
Significantly better.
Yeah, it's we kind of had a master class of how to record a record with Dave Cobb. We were a big fan of his, and we also spent a good 3.5 years on the road listening to more influences. Coming into that record, there it was a lot of I guess more shallow roots music, so like Lynyrd Skynyrd. That's not very hard to get to, but we're big fans of them, and CCR, and a lot of, I guess, whiter blues, and soul. And on the road, we fell in love with a lot of New Orleans stuff and a lot of more soul stuff. One of the guys being Alan Toussaint, who we're a huge fan of. Sure. And when we got in that studio, man, we were ready to kind of cut a singer-songwriter kind of soul album, kind of like a Van Morrison or something like that, I guess.
This one, I feel like this has more radio-ready cuts than the first one did. I don't.
That's not
meant to be an insult.
No. Yeah, that's
growth.
We didn't really do that intentionally. The record was really weird because, like I said, after that 3.5 years and then being dropped from the major, everything at the same time was kind of crumbling down. And when we got in there, we only did the first 5, and we weren't sure what to do. After that, I was still convinced that maybe somebody cared enough to maybe put their label behind it or something like that, and it never worked out. So by the time we got in there for the second run in January, we had everything pre-produced. We were really ready to do it. Ricky, the cousin and drummer, produced the thing along with Toby Vest down there in Memphis, and we had Little Feat horn guys come in. So that was really cool. Just talk to them about touring with Little Feat, and yeah, we had a lot of fun doing it. It's just been it's unfortunate we can't really give it a proper push yet, but maybe I'm hoping this fall, once everything kind of winds down, we'll have some physical copies and be able to get it out there a little more.
Still a new record by then too.
Yes, yeah. We've been recording quite a bit over in Rust Belt Studios.
Oh, yeah.
We got something brewing over there. I'm not really sure 100% what it'll be yet, but pretty excited. We're pretty excited, and I don't know. We're in an odd spot, but we're still enjoying it. Like I said, we just got done playing Finland and Spain, and that was really refreshing just to see an audience really take in American roots music and have fun with it. I feel like over here we tour quite a bit, and it's kind of, a lot of the times it's pretty hard to get people out, and when they do come out, it's I don't know. Sometimes you just kind of feel like a background noise or something, you know.
I know a lot of folks from the roots music scene from Michigan, and none of them that I know are playing Finland and Spain. So you've done something.
Not a lot of people are dumb enough to go do it. You gotta, you don't really make money on that stuff.
But you're spreading the word.
Yeah, and we got a good group of guys around me right now that are willing to just play, and that's huge as well. So,
sure.
And those are some Flint boys, and my cousin Ricky, and Avery Whitaker, who's been with me since day one. So it's been fun though. We're really growing, and that first record we released they called us Heartland Rock. That was the bio said Heartland Rock Rides Again, and I had to look that thing up, and I read that and I was like, oh, you know what, that might be perfect for us, because we're such a eclectic group of musicians. We really love blues and soul and country and of course rock and roll. So when I listen to records from like Tom Petty and Bob Seger and the people that are affiliated with that, it feels right at home. So
sure, absolutely.
Yeah, we're just finding ourselves a little bit and playing as much as we can, doing that thing.
I noticed perhaps unintentional, but perhaps intentional nod to 38, especially when you say "hold on loosely."
Yeah, I did. It was. I guess it's always going to be kind of intentional. Like as soon as I wrote that down, I'm like, well, man, that is 38. We're not the biggest. Like, we actually opened up for them.
They had great songs.
Once. Yeah, but
great. I just played a best of it on my CD player.
There you go. Yeah.
Songs,
yeah, we're more of, like I said, we're huge Skynyrd fanatics and.
Southern rock.
The Allman Brothers, the Southern rock stuff. We're big fans of it. But that's just such a good line. You got to use it over and over again, You don't want to put that to waste.
I love it. Well, we jumped ahead to talking about the new record. I was going to ask, and I know you're not one who loves to talk about themselves, but we are here to talk a little bit about you as well. Let's go back to a younger you. If I'd met you at like 10 years old, what would you be like? What were you doing?
Well, that kind of brings us to why we did this record in Memphis. I was a huge Memphis music fan. Not intentionally. It was just all the Sun Studio guys. Roy Orbison, Elvis Presley, Johnny Cash, and then later on with Stax and Royal Studios, Al Green, Otis Redding, and the soul stuff. But at 10, I was 100% Johnny Cash, Elvis Presley.
That's really cool.
It was
it's not where I was.
Yeah, well, I think I was listening. You don't want to listen to what your mom and dad are listening to. So I went with Grandpa, and he was a big fan of that stuff. So at 10, it was all about Memphis, and I think right around 10 or 11, for a vacation, we went to Memphis and got to tour the whole thing. And that's when I really discovered like the soul stuff down there, because I was just so aware of the Elvis Presley and the Johnny Cash story, and then I saw B.B. King and Otis and all these other huge legends that kind of walked in Memphis. And it was nice to get back there and actually be able to record, because I've just been fascinated about it my entire life, of how special that place is for music. And where it's at right now is, really odd. It's really odd just to go down there and just everything's really dissipated and just kind of a little bit ran down. But I feel like that up here a lot too, especially being from Kalamazoo, where a lot of people have abandoned that, including Gibson Guitars and Checker Car Cab Company, and so I felt right at home. Really, it was nice.
I finally made my pilgrimage there, because I think everybody who's a music fan needs to go there at least once.
Yeah,
about 3-4 years ago, and I got to see the studios.
Yeah,
being a huge music fan was just so neat to be.
Oh man,
all that stuff.
Yeah, Memphis, Tennessee is so huge for roots music, and especially blues and rock and roll. Man, that's oh man, yeah. I still, every time I go there, no matter what's going on, I just get a feeling of like, this is it. This is where it happened. As far as I'm concerned it holds more significance than New York City or a place like that for me, or L.A. I just love it. It's so raw. It was so raw, you know.
Sure. Well, similarly, because I listened to and watched a few interviews that you've done, my first record that I bought was actually a Paul McCartney and Wings single, but the first album that I owned, other than a K-Tel Dumb Ditties, which was a comedy record, was buying my mom's Meet the Beatles record, which I believe is a record you listened to a ton. I Want to Hold Your Hand. And
yes, yeah. That was like my first, too, which is crazy.
I heard you say that. I'm like, that was like the Beatles were really where I started building blocks for music.
That was... I got the hand-me-down records that my cousin didn't want, and that was the Meet the Beatles, and put it on. That was huge. I had a weird picking from that. I had Cinderella, Nobody's Fool, Meet the Beatles, Heart, and I think a Kiss Destroyer record or something like that. But yeah, I got into weird stuff as a kid, and that Memphis thing was huge. Another big one was Jackson 5. I loved the Jackson 5 for some reason. Not even Michael Jackson, just
it's good pop music.
The Jackson 5, yeah.
Good soul pop music for sure.
Yeah, it's good Michigan music too.
Yes. Well, okay, let's jump ahead a little bit. Like I just told you what I was like when I was 15. I was thinking about going to radio. Did you at some point come to this in your head, what you're doing now, or was this never really a consideration until later?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't anything at all. I was going through school. I was I wasn't very popular, and I loved music, and I played at home, but wouldn't really bring it anywhere else. I was so nervous all the time. I still get super nervous.
Do you feel okay today?
Yeah, I'm actually not bad today, which is good.
I'm glad.
But I got so nervous and worked up about every little thing back then that I could never even find time to enjoy performing in front of people or anything to that kind of extent. But it was always there. I got into sports quite a bit around 15. You know,
what'd you play?
Football, basketball.
Okay.
And then once that dissipated, you know, I kept picking up the guitar over and over again, and I started writing around 15, and writing I feel like songs that people were kind of surprised about, and I kind of became attached to that, where I'd show this song to somebody and they'd really like it, so I'd go back to the drawing board and be like, well, let's see what this is about. So.
My 40th class reunion is this year, and I don't think anybody, if I actually went to it, would be surprised the path that I took. Do you think people would be surprised where you landed?
Yeah, I think so. I was kind of a class clown around 15 too. It was really awkward time. I think still people are like, I never knew you really sang or anything like that. And I'd play a little bit in shop class and stuff when I should have been working, but other than that, it's just, I wouldn't think so. Who knew? I didn't even know what I wanted to do back then, and I think it's constantly, you're just kind of evolving and trying to figure it out through those years. So it
took me a really long time to actually decide that what I'm supposed to be doing is what I'm now doing, but it was a long road to get there. So some people don't figure it out.
Music's a weird one, too. Like I was saying, it dwindles between, or it kind of goes back and forth between hobby and your entire life. So
well, had you been making music in the late 70s, early 80s, when being on a record label, it was probably more than a one label deal.
Yes,
and they actually invested in A&R and tried to develop you. You would have had probably 5 records chance before they would say, nope, not working. So what's different about today's day is very different, that, you know, it's a level playing field. Anybody in their living room or bedroom can make a record and put it out, and it may not be the same quality as produced by Dave Cobb, but it still has the same chance of being heard as this record did. So
yes,
it has nothing to do with your talent or whether you were good enough to survive. It's just that the playing field is so big now.
Yeah,
it's hard to stand out.
Yeah, it's my experience with the label, and I don't want to cut them down or anything, because
they made more people know who you are.
Yes, 100%. But it was very sporadic and kind of just like you said, it wasn't really a development thing so much as maybe a viral moment, it felt like. And now I'm here, so I've found peace being here a little bit more, hanging out and showing people your babies and hear them call it, they don't hear a single or something like that. It's really hard to do, especially for 2 years straight, and when you're in limbo. Yeah. So I like to be on limbo on my own terms.
Right.
It's a little better. But yeah, that's why not why I'm doing it. Anyway, I really have fallen in love with the history music, and mostly, I don't want to sound like a hillbilly, which I might be in some aspects, but especially American music from New Orleans to Memphis to Detroit, Chicago, and Muscle Shoals, especially that kind of thing.
Sure.
I'm so fascinated with people like Alan Toussaint, Dr. John from New Orleans, and with the Swampers and all the stuff that was cut there. I mean, hell, Bob Seger, he even had his mark there, and Wilson Pickett and Aretha, and all these people are just these characters and these larger than life heroes for me.
Before I have you play another song, before I forget, I'm going to tell you, if you don't know, the newest Mike Ferris record. Check that out. It's kind of a Memphis-y record.
Oh,
and
cool.
I think he actually recorded it there as well.
Okay.
Great record. I mean, I wasn't paying attention to him for so long. He'd been around for a while. He was the lead singer of the Screamin' Cheetah Wheelies.
Okay.
And then people were trying to push me in his direction until I heard that record. I didn't get it. And I'm like, oh my God, what was I missing? And then I see him live. I'm like, oh my God, he's so good. So Mike Ferris. Check
Okay, cool.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Tell me about the next song you're going to play.
I'm going to do a song called Testimony. I wrote this, I guess, while I was in limbo.
Aren't we always in limbo?
Yeah. And I was trying to rip off Harry Nilsson, but I couldn't really quite get it, which has been a blessing for me. I'm always trying to rip off somebody and falling short, so every once in a while it kind of pays off.
You're not going to get sued that way.
Yeah. All righty, here's Testimony.
It's another brown-eyed child under street lights in a town covered in misery and moss and fears that have piled up through the years and have torn down religions, canceled traditions for people like me. It's my testimony. Some call it country, some folk find it funny, but I don't. But I don't. Well, I'm sure from buildings in the sky, calling shots and cutting pies, your perspective may lie somewhere far beyond compare to simpleton nobodies waiting for someday as people like me. It's my testimony. Some call it country, some folk find it funny, but I don't. But I don't. For far too long, this lonesome song I'm singing has been ringing and not meaning a thing them. The poor man's blues may never lose its place for people running the race. I believe you can't lose faith, for I've but lost mine. Lost mine. Now it's another brown-eyed child in a world oh so out, covered in concrete and shame and pain that was carefully laid by men with families raised up like their daddies. Yes, people like me. It's my testimony. Some call it country, some folk find it funny, but I don't. But I don't. But I don't.
Testimony is another track you'll find on Nostalgia for Sale, the latest record from Myron Elkins on Acoustic Alternatives from Grove Studios. Grove Studios is in Ypsilanti, Michigan, between Ann Arbor and Detroit. GroveStudios.space if you want to check out what it is. It is a spot that DJs, like people who work in clubs, can rent a space for and practice their skills. I showed Myron that room. They moved it, actually. It's in a different room. And then across there is a production room. And then there's this studio, another studio, and a third studio where you as a band or as duo or whatever, if you want to get out of the garage and get into the studio, not annoy your neighbors, make all the noise you want, you can do that anytime you want. 1 in the morning, perfect. 6 in the morning, that's up to you. 6 p.m., that's more likely because musicians don't get here at 6 in the morning usually. It's a little cheaper if you rent it at 6 in the morning.
Yeah, that might be the jazz musicians. I think jazz people get up earlier.
Yeah, but I get up early, but I'm old, so it's when you get to my age, you just wake up without an alarm now, and you're like, why am I up? Why am I awake? I don't want to be awake. Anyway, thanks to Grove Studios for being the home of the podcast for coming up on 5 years. Our 5-year anniversary comes up in October, so it's been an absolute thrill to bring in artists into this studio from all over the place, not just Michigan. But today we have a Michigan guy from Otsego, right?
Yes, yep.
Near Kalamazoo, Grand Rapids area, if you're not familiar with where that is. And we were just chatting a bit about his background. It's not too far from where Gibson Guitars, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
They started in 1894, and long before both of us were on the earth. Was that your first guitar? Did you get a Gibson first?
No. I think my first guitar was a Hohner that was out in my grandma's shed.
Ah, okay.
And we used a comb, and we cut off all the brushels on it and used it as the bridge. And then I had to wood glue this back, and I played the hell out of it. I still got it.
Oh, cool.
And up here where all the cowboy chords are, all wore out, all the paint's gone and stuff. So I'm proud of that guitar. I like that guitar. That was my first one. I didn't have a real nice guitar until 2020, something like that, when I started taking it a little bit more serious.
Yeah, hold on to that first one, because when you get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame,
yeah,
you might have to dig back.
Yeah, well, hopefully there's a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame by then. We'll see.
They'll call it something else.
Yeah.
They really should just call it the Music Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. I mean,
it is.
I don't mind if artists who aren't rock and roll get in. It doesn't bother me that much, but if you're going to call it the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, then you should put just rock.
Yeah.
Just, whatever. Tribe Called Quest, I don't know. Sure, why not? But it doesn't appeal to me, but it's okay. I understand how people can love music.
Yeah.
Of all kinds, and I do. I mean, I own 18,000 CDs. They're not all one genre.
No, they're not. But I feel like there is a vein of rock and roll, and you can feel it. It's kind of a feeling, And there's so many genres. From James Brown, I feel like super rock and roll, but I feel like Waylon Jennings is just as rock and roll. So it's a feeling. Attitude. Yeah, it's what it is. It really is.
Well, you're saying in testimony how it's not really country, and I agree. I mean, this is more Americana, or people have a hard time defining Americana. I don't know that I could tell somebody what Americana is either.
Yeah,
I know what it is, but I can't tell somebody
it's,
what it is.
It's just every once in a while on your record, you got to kind of make sure everybody knows you still got your feet on the ground. And I think the best way to do that is, maybe use some actual instruments. A lot of times today it's a lot of keyboard synthesizer stuff or 808 drum sounds, and that's just that's not me, as it can be somebody else. But I don't know. I don't think James Brown would ever use something like that, so I wouldn't either.
Well, you had a bit of an unusual start. A lot of the folks, again, that I've had through here have a similar path. They started playing piano at 3 or whatever, and they just kind of worked their way up and played the small rooms and da-da-da-da. You were a welder when you got discovered.
Yes.
And you were working a full-time job, and it's still, I suppose, a fallback career for you. It's still a skill you have.
100%.
If this doesn't work out, you have something to do. It's a highly recommended path. I mean, I even the younger artists that I meet when they're like 20, 21 and they're doing well, like, but are you going to college, or do you have some, like, what if it doesn't work? What are you going to do? Because it's a really hard industry. Like, thinking about all the baseball players, football players who've tried to make it as professionals, it's just as bad in the music industry. There's so many people out there.
Yeah.
I literally, for the station I work for, we're moving soon. So I threw away like 10,000 CDs of people we never played.
Wow.
Like that, seriously, that many from the last 20 years.
Yep.
Names I've never heard of, and I've been in the industry for 40 years, and I have no idea who these people are. That's just, there's so much out there.
Yeah.
The fact that you're getting heard, the fact that, you've had great opportunities. Like, I love Kaleo. I saw that you opened for them.
Yeah, they're good guys.
Opening for Willie Nelson and John Fogerty and Marcus King. Like, these are opportunities that a lot of folks I know would love to do.
Yeah.
And they've already happened to you in your young career. Congratulations on that.
Thank you. Yeah,
That's
I think I always feel like kind of the Forrest Gump of music. I'm always kind of right place, right time. It felt like, especially there in the beginning.
Nothing wrong with that.
But I think one thing that really benefited me, college was never an option, and where I come from is a little bit more rural, I guess, than most places in America. It's middle America. It's really just cornfields and stuff like that. And I fell into the welding thing just because realistically, especially where I'm from, it's not a thing to be a musician. But I always really loved songs. I just loved a song. I didn't really even like playing the guitar. I never listened to like a guitar solo and was like, it's my favorite part. It was always just the song. And I just see like little movies in my head every time I'd hear a good one. And that's what I think I gravitated toward country music so much at first, especially like Johnny Cash, because he was he was a storyteller 100%. And then I started turning on the oldie station. I'd hear stuff like "Tie a Yellow Ribbon," like do you like that kind of thing, and I'd see the whole thing play out in my head, and I just loved songs. I loved the story. I loved the anticipation, and then the you got to bring a little bit of tension in there here and there, and I just loved that so much. And when I started making a band, or when I started playing in a band, it was still not even about being loud and triumphant yet, and it was always just about a song. And I think I got really lucky, and somebody noticed that, and somebody turned out to be Dave Cobb, and
no big deal.
Yeah, and that opened many doors for me. Just about probably every one I've ever had, to be honest with you. And
thanks, Dave, if you're listening.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. Yeah, I think that's why my path's a little different. It's just I think a lot of musicians are very skilled at their instrument. I've never claimed to be that, and I still kind of struggle with the instrument part. It's just always been about a song, and I feel like a lot of people can get wrapped up into the more musical side, which is great. That's how we get people like the Allman Brothers and, Funkadelic and that kind of stuff. But for me, it's always been a song, and it still is today, but I am getting a little bit more curious, a little bit more curious about what does a trumpet solo sound like, as you can tell in this last record.
Yeah. No, I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that part of it, that you put horns in there and stuff.
Yeah, it's but still, it was always a song. Still is a song, and I love songwriters. We just came back from Minnesota, and I've never been on Highway 61. The Dylan thing, and we were coming down there, and I was listening to the Basement Tapes, Dylan, and Nashville Skyline, and it's just, man.
You need to get Robert Johnson in there, too.
Yeah.
They want to go really far back.
Yeah. But, so it's always been about a song. It's still about a song, and I feel like it's very fun for me, which is weird, because I've never been like what do they call it, intellectual? Mm-hmm. I'm not good at math. I didn't read books. But something about a song just always got me, and still does. So it's kind of like, at this point, a really bad habit or something. I wake up, and it's like a puzzle, putting a puzzle together. You're like, I could write something like this. And that's where I found the love for like people like Paul McCartney, Bob Dylan, Some of my favorite writers, like Alan Toussaint, I feel like was so good at adding textures musically into storytelling and songwriting. That first Dr. John record, the Gree Gree, you feel like you're in New Orleans, and it paints a real picture in my head, which is really fun for me. And then obviously you got the Appalachian stuff where all the fiddles and stuff, and you kind of go there. My hardest part, I feel like, as being a musician, and especially being from where I'm from, is finding pride or finding a brand. And that's why I mentioned earlier, when I was notified that Heartland Rock was a thing, I've found a home with that. So I'm excited to kind of be able to express that. For the last 3 years, I haven't been able to record or put out anything because I was under contract. So,
well, welcome back then.
Yeah, we're working on it.
I'm trying to imagine a younger you working in a welding shop and writing songs in your head and waiting until the end of your shift so you can actually like write it down.
I think there's something to that. I really think there was.
How did you not forget? I mean, how many things did you forget? I bet you did forget.
Well, it was really droney work. It was assembly line.
Yeah.
So.
But you still need to take time to like.
Yeah, and I wouldn't write it down per se. Lunch breaks, I would write down the title. That first record was really written a lot in the factory, and hence the name. I remember writing Machine. I remember writing PTSD was one that was written there. That's not on that record, but the first one. A lot of them, Old Trauma. You just got time to think and sit there and think to yourself. And
how do you not forget them? I mean, it sounds like you're working 12-hour shifts.
Yeah, well, I think that's where the I love these guys, like these songwriters, like Ronnie Van Zant and like Johnny Cash or Hank Williams, the first one.
The real one.
Yeah. And when you come up with a good line, it's almost like you're serving them somehow. That's how I kind of always felt. So if I came up with a good line, I'd be like, man, I bet they'd like that. So I got to remember that. That's cool.
Nice.
And during that time, I was listening to a lot of Mississippi John Hurt.
Okay.
And Delta Blues, like Lightning Hopkins. And remember the one day I came in 4 a.m, and I'd start blaring that stuff right away. So it went straight to like a Mississippi John Hurt thing. And this lady came over I was working with. She goes, please, just for today, it's 4 a.m, let's just do no radio. It's like every morning.
Like what you were playing.
Yeah, every morning it was just the same Delta Blues thing. It just had such a feel to it that I loved it. And it put me in a kind of a working mentality of, man, you're here and they were here too. You know, it's so relatable. It's like the first working man songs. And then it evolves into stuff like CCR and eventually Hell Van Halen, you know. Mm-hmm. But I feel like that Delta Blues stuff's the first really working man stuff. And I always liked working man stuff. My dad was a working man, and my grandpa and grandpa before that, you know, that kind of thing. And it really gets people by. It means a lot. And I think a lot of people can hear it and kind of think it's dumb or think it might be too bro or too masculine. But I always love those kind of songs. And, yeah, it's just like something I still hold on to, even if it's not cool. Yeah.
The station I work at on a daily basis, the guy that I work with hosts a blues show at 3 o'clock called Blues Time, and he and I talk, about just about music in general. He's kind of worried about the future of blues because there's not a lot of kids that are
100%.
into it. So, like, is there a real traditional blues album in you somewhere? You can pull up the slide and
well, I'm not really much of a player, but I think I could maybe try to go after something like I did with this record on the song Red Ball, the last record. That was really, I was trying to do like a Mississippi John Hurt thing a little bit, and I was using a Red Ball train as my catalyst. Mm-hmm. I guess I always loved the idea of a train that just takes off, never stops, goes straight to the destination, you know, and it's not waiting on anybody. And
probably gonna have a train behind us at some point during the conversation.
Yeah,
that's almost every time.
Trains get me excited still, man.
Well, you
it's
have
like
to play a train song if one happens.
Oh, I will. Yeah, it's my little kid instinct. As soon as I hear or see a train, I'm like, whoa. I don't know, something about it. Yeah. Just it's like a remembrance. It's like you see a horse, you know, or something like that. You're like, we used to use those.
Yeah, I mean, we used to have trains get stuff from here to there. Without them, America would have never been built without the trains.
Yeah,
right? It would have just been,
It's easy for me to understand too. I look at airplanes. I can't figure out how the hell those things get in the air.
Yeah, I don't know either.
With a train, it's just sheer power. Yeah.
Well, Myron Elkins is my guest today on Acoustic Alternatives. Thus far, 3 records. First EP called Just Another Asshole with a Guitar. Are you still an asshole? No.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, I think it's getting worse, maybe.
Come on, you seem nice to me.
No, I'm nice. It's just, I've seen a little bit of stuff now. Getting older. I'm 25.
Oh, my God. Sonny, you don't know what you're talking about. Then the Dave Cobb produced album. We talked about that. It's Factories, Farms, and Amphetamines, and it's a different look. If you see the cameras and you go, is that the same guy?
Yeah.
He's changed his hair a little bit. He's grown a beard out. I got to be honest with you. The first time you were brought to my attention. So when I first started doing the podcast in 2020, it was pretty much just local musicians because there were no tours happening in 2020. Mm-hmm. The first non-Michigan act that came through played a friend of mine's backyard in 2021, I want to say. They were a duo, and one of the 2 members, when I was chatting with them in the parking lot, said, hey, we were just playing this festival up in, I don't know what part of Michigan, it's probably up in the upper Michigan or upper lower Michigan. Have you heard of Myron Elkins? I'm like, I have not. Why? Oh, my God, you got to check him out. He was great. So Brent Shuttleworth of the band Elevado brought you to my attention.
That's awesome.
I just Googled your name and played a song. Didn't look at it at all. Just was listening. Like, that's a cool voice. And then I looked at who was singing. I'm like, that does not look at all what I thought. Like, it's not an insult. It was just like,
no. I'll be the first to admit, man. Everything I heard growing up, I tried to mimic. To mimic everything, and
you didn't sound young at all.
Yeah, well, I wasn't trying to.
No, but you sounded like, I don't know, like a 60-year-old man. I'm like, yeah, this is not what I thought I was hearing.
Well, that's all my favorite voices, man. My favorite one being Otis Redding. I thought he was such a interpreter of soul that that should be the baseline for anybody. And then you got people like John Fogerty. You know, I'm a huge fan of his voice, and Seeger, and they were really just going after the old soul blues stuff. Little Richard, we were talking Wilson Pickett. You know, that kind of stuff just really always struck me. And growing up during a time of such smooth, polished, overproduced pop music, it made me want to do it even harder. You know,
I guess you grew up in the 2000s, the 2010s.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was not really a rock era.
No, it's Justin Timberlake, you know, that kind of stuff.
Right.
And listening to that, it did not move me.
No,
and it still don't.
I have nothing against pop music, but I get it. There's no heart.
Yes.
You think about the things that have lasted. And when I listen to even like current radio, and I can hear things that I go, that I will forget about in 5 years. That will not be something I'm playing as a DJ in 10 years. There's staying power. There's not. And a lot of the stuff that I grew up on, like I still hear it today.
Oh, man.
And it still moves me.
There's some of the pop music out of the late 60s, early 70s a lot of it was Michigan made, which is really cool. The
Motown.
Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder. I still don't think he gets the credit he deserves, which is crazy considering, you know, he's known as one of the greatest. And then I think the guy that started all pop music in general, and just to be the greatest of all time of American music, is Ray Charles. I think he really laid the groundwork for that soul, that feeling, that thing that that I listened for as a kid, never found. And stuff, you know, I don't want to single out Justin Timberlake. That's pretty douchey to do, but stuff like
singer.
that. Yeah.
Makes
you know.
pop music, whatever. It doesn't
Yeah. So, I've always mimicked things, man, and I always fell short, and I think that helped me find my own voice. So, it's a blessing and a curse.
New album's called Nostalgia for Sale. Unlike the previous one, I can look at the credits. Who played on this record? Actually, let me back up 1 second before we go. On the first album, you brought your band from the Kalamazoo era, and you brought it to. Doesn't Dave usually like provide musicians for his people?
He could have, but that was one of my stipulations. When I called him, I was like, "Man, I really want to do this, but I'm not willing to leave my cousin Rick and Avery and Caleb. You know, we started this, and it just wouldn't feel right." He's like, "That's fine. Bring your mom."
Okay.
You know.
So you used the same band for the new record, or something?
Yeah. Yep. So we got in there. We didn't have a bass player for that Cobb record, so we used Cobb's guy. Okay. And he's killer. I mean, it speaks for itself. The bass lines on there are amazing. And then, this last record's Rick again, Caleb, Avery, Nate, who we were touring with for the last 3 years, and then the Flint guy, Billy Gunther. He's been in the band lately, and he played some guitar on it. And then the horns we outsourced. I didn't have a horn guy here, or horns guy here or in Nashville. So Toby, who owned the studio, was familiar with these guys who were on the road with Little Feat and have been for a while, and they played with Greg Allman, so it was kind of hard to like not talk to him about that. And then the guy that really made this last record is Rick Steff. He is a Memphis guy. He's in the band Lucero. Okay. And when we were on tour with him, I talked his ear off just all day about just random stuff, Deep Purple, Harry Chaplin, and like just music. And he became like kind of a mentor. I'd call him every once in a while, tell him what I was going through, and he always had the greatest thing. And he actually inspired me to go over to Memphis, like, come over here. This is the spot to do it. And he's all over that last Nostalgia for Sale record, and he's the keys guy. And he just made these songs just melt together. And I've never had that experience with a player, honestly. He's a real special guy. And thanks, Rick. Rick's the man.
Had your cousin Ricky produced a record before yours?
No. So he just has a good ear.
This is what I'm hearing is his first.
Yes, yeah, and he's playing a lot of guitar on this. Okay. He's playing the shaker. He's doing all the backups. So every backup thing is all him. Drums, obviously, and he's an ace. He's like my kind of he's my secret recipe, I guess, especially for that last record, man. It's really good. It's fun. And we stole everything from Alan Toussaint. Wow. And
he doesn't need it anymore.
Yeah.
All right, see, where was it going to go next? How about another song?
Cool. Yeah, let's do that Mississippi John Hurt type thing.
Sure.
Red Bull.
Hope is so dangerous, dependence contagious, damn near close to the flu. Yet I Pray for mercy and hope that I'm worthy, and leave the determining up to you. Yes, I label confidence taboo. Cancel my subscriptions, ignore my symptoms, undermine my wisdom and truth. Take all that you want, believe my soul and leave my watch, for you'll never catch me counting on you. No, you'll never catch me counting on you. Red ball, oh, red ball, take me away from today, for tomorrow will not come. If you're waiting on someone like a red ball, you best be on your way. Oh, red ball, you take me away, take me away. Pour on the sugar and lay out another. Spin me around in your web. For I gladly take something, but there just ain't nothing that can't be done with a little sweat. Oh, that ain't been done and done yet, no. Red ball, oh, red ball, take me away from today, for tomorrow will not come. If you're waiting on someone like a red ball, you take me away. Oh, red ball, you take me away.
If you listen to the album in the order that it's intended to be listened to, that's the lead track on Nostalgia for Sale, the new Myron Elkins record, and you're hearing it on Acoustic Alternatives. Though I really like the album version, I think I love it that way.
Yeah, well, that's good to know. The first time we were kind of panning out the songs, like what one to play, I'm like, I wrote this one. I'm such a big fan of Mississippi John Hurt, and I showed him that, like, we're recording that. Yeah, we're recording that for sure. And then when the horns started getting talked about and stuff, I had this idea of like this more swampy New Orleans kind of production on it. And we actually, the rhythm guitar track, this was a Ricky call. We're huge fans of guitarist, singer-songwriter Ry Cooder. And we kind of rip off Ry Cooder during that chorus with the guitar part, the fuzzy guitar. And it all came together real good. We were super proud of that one, just because we were able to fit so many influences into it at the same time. By the end of it, we're like, yeah, that's what we want to be, and that's hard to do, man, because we're not them. No. We're not them, and they weren't who they wanted to be. So if you can even hear kind of a glimpse, or even if you can kind of see a shadow of those guys in something that you do, that's why I do it, honestly.
I'm sure they'd be happy to know that somebody's trying to keep it alive.
Yeah, I'd hope so. What they did really just makes me happy every day. I mean, I can turn on those records and just be still surprised, and that's huge. I don't find that a lot anymore.
I remember hearing or reading when I was doing research for this that you brought like 30 or 40 songs to the table when you recorded with Dave.
Yeah.
Did any of those end up on this newer record, or did you just start with a whole new batch?
Nope.
Whole new batch.
Yeah. None of those. A lot of these are newer songs that I wrote during kind of the falling out of everything. Went through a breakup, pretty bad one. It was high school sweetheart stuff, and same time the label thing happened. At the same time, the band was kind of also having some serious troubles. I was just in over my head financially, and everything just seemed to kind of just be coming down at the same time, and left me with a ton of material.
If you're going to sing it every night, it's got to come from here. Right?
Yeah,
what
yeah.
am I experiencing right now? And that's what you're doing.
Yeah, and a lot of that stuff that I wrote, like Giving Up and Giving In, Red Ball was more fun. I actually had fun writing that one. But God Bless the Rain is just a song about being thankful, you know. And they say the best music that you can write is during times of oppression and depression, which is a real kicker if you want to be a happy guy. But
it's easier to write about being sad.
Yeah,
and even being angry. It's easier to write about that. But being happy and in love, I mean, that's been done. But
yep, yeah, it was tough, but man, you know, I'm starting to get my feet back on the ground. I kind of got ran out of Nashville this spring. After cutting that record, I just ran out of money, and I had to move back home. So I moved home up here in about April, and immediately started talking to the guys in Detroit about coming over here. And I really want to cut like a Heartland rock record. I told them, you know, like a Seeger Petty,
Mellencamp.
Yeah, Mellencamp, that kind of thing, and they seem pretty excited about it. So I'm excited about that. But yeah, this record's a cool in between. And I'm just trying to, kind of going in blind on everything, it feels like, because I did get such a crazy, weird start that I kind of had to skip the talk to a label part because it came to me. So it's been wild, but we're getting great reception on the live shows, and I'm starting to finally feel like a musician. I've never really felt like one, which is odd because I've been doing this for 5 years now, you know, and going really hard on it, and just we're breaking down, fixing vans, playing shows last second, the whole 9 yards. And like you said, we've been on the road with about everybody.
Yeah, I mean, Outlaw Music Festival, you're opening?
Yeah.
That doesn't happen to anybody.
No, it's wild, man. That's a blessing.
Congrats.
It really is.
Congrats, seriously.
Thank you.
That's awesome
yeah,
stuff.
you got to pinch yourself every once in a while. This last run, I got to meet Willie, and that I couldn't talk. Being a country music fan, especially early on in my life, Willie Nelson is he's the tippy top there, up there with Hank Williams and people like Roy Acuff and Lefty Frizzell, and Willie Nelson's right there. Mm-hmm. So I had no words for him.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, I think I said, hi, my name's Myron Elkins. He goes, okay. And that was kind of it.
You couldn't say, I'm opening the show.
I know I had so much. I was pacing. Donald was there, a friend with me today. He drove me over here, but I was pacing in the dressing room because they said come out and meet him. Oh, and I was just pacing. I'm like, what can I say? I really like Shotgun Willie, the record, but he ain't gonna want to talk about that. He worked with Bobby Womack, which that super cool Stardust record. He ain't gonna have time for that stuff.
Just thank you for letting me be on the tour would have been.
Yeah, I know it.
Said.
I know. I think the Midwest awkwards really got to me.
Well, hopefully we'll get a chance to meet him again. He's like not that much younger than my father. And I visited my father today, and my father could barely walk from the chair to the bathroom, let alone tour. So
yeah, he's
amazing.
He's not one of us,
no,
you know.
He's not.
He's Willie Nelson is huge. But, I don't know. And that's a guy who really struggled and got ran out of Nashville as well. So I feel like I'm in good company as far as being out of there. But it does feel like home. I was there very young. I moved there when I was 20. Yeah. And up here feels a little different now, you know. I didn't even really have much of a scene down there for me. Just that's where I'd grocery shop. That's where I would hang out and play, and it's weird being back up here, but it's nice, and got my band. So
it's a great scene up here anyway. Michigan has a rich scene.
Yeah, we've been playing some good festivals. We got, like I said, Coyote Crossing this weekend, which is just one of my favorite spots. Just feel comfortable. And I really like Upper Michigan. It's nice, especially for songwriting. As we know, Bob Seger always walked out of there with something good. So I've yet to write me like a Fire Lake or anything. I don't know if it's in me. It's weird. I think I reach back a little further maybe or something, or I just don't have that bone.
That's very late to mid-career. I mean,
yeah.
Like
we haven't gotten there yet.
Night Moves, Stranger in Town, Against the Wind. Those albums were not anywhere near what it sounds like when you're just doing Noah.
I love A Song to Rufus, man. It's the record is Mongrel.
Yeah, so that's very different Bobs.
Yeah, I feel like we're coming out of the ramblin' gambling phase right now. We're back in '72 right now. That's the feeling.
Well, when you're writing for a record or just writing in general, how do you know when you've written a keeper? Like, do you have people, do you bounce them off, or do you just feel it?
Yeah. well, lately, as I said, it was all about song. A song ain't enough anymore, and you have to have the guitar part or the piano part to go with the song. If you don't have that, then the song is not going to be as catchy. And I think we learned that from Dave Cobb very quickly. You listen to those Stapleton records, and specifically Stapleton, they always have that really hooky guitar part. So you got to have both now. I feel like back in, when I was first starting, as long as I had a good song, it was good enough. Now we're looking for hooks. Like even if we're talking about Bob Seger, he has some very hooky stuff like Till It Shines, that guitar part, or Main Street, or Turn the Page with the saxophone. Mm-hmm. So we're
hook, right?
Yeah, we're looking for both. We got to have a great song, and we have to have that hook. And that's been a game changer, especially as Ricky is looking into producing and just listening to records, and so am I. But we're really studying it, man. We work our tails off trying to figure out something that hooky and that catchy, and then the everything's got to line up perfectly. I feel like before that we were just kind of throwing stuff at walls. If we had a good song, that was enough. Now we're looking for a lot of things. So.
You said you weren't a very good student, and I believe you when you say that. But my God, you are smart about the music. You have a knowledge about music that people your age do not have.
I'm just...
that's what you love.
That's what I like.
I can tell. You love it.
If I get into something, I can get into it. I was Student of the Year, perfect attendance 2 years in a row, which is not like me.
High five across the room.
For welding. Yeah, for welding. That's it. I would miss school in the beginning and then just show up at the tech center. Yeah, which I'm not proud of that. That's okay. Kind of a crappy way to be. But
you're doing okay. Well, I guess what you just need to make sure is that you know enough to not get taken advantage of as you go through your career. Because the business acumen you need to be a musician today isn't just knowing how to be an instrument player and a singer. Like, you need to be able to run a business, because being a musician is a business.
Yeah, and I'm at the very, very bottom of that pole, it feels like right now, and just starting to figure it out. And unfortunately, this thing called social media has been really in the way.
Yeah. Kind of a necessary marketing tool at this point.
Yeah, I've got to figure that out, and hopefully my selective learning doesn't hinder that. But I feel like it's all about a song. It's always been about a song, but especially today, man. If you can get one song, you can have a good career, and just constantly mining for that one. So, and in the meantime, just live and write about it, and hopefully one day that song will come, and we're gonna be ready. Like I said, the group of guys I got with me right now we're having a ton of fun, and we all genuinely love music. That's why you were saying not a lot of people go to Spain and Finland. That's because you're gonna lose doing that. But just for the love of the game, we'll do it.
Sure.
That's cool.
Could build a reputation.
Yeah, and the crowds there were killer.
Awesome.
It was very refreshing. Like I said, I've played. Especially this winter, man. I was sleeping on couches in Colorado for a while. We went out there to make some money and ran into some really good people, wrote some really good songs, but we were kind of hitchhiking. We were sleeping on couches, riding with Billy, the guy who joined us in the studio and now is part of the band. But it's all for the love of the game, You sacrifice and you write. And all of it just to kind of prove myself to the greats before me. That's so big for me. Freddie King right now is my background on my phone, so anytime I pick up a guitar, it's like, well, what would Freddie do? That kind of thing.
You're not like people that are 25 that I know. It's so nice to meet you and refreshing to hear these stories from somebody like you.
Yeah.
You're an old soul, as they say. Do you find yourself more comfortable on stage these days? I know initially that was a weird thing for you.
Yeah.
You've been doing it long enough. Now, are you still
It depends. Right now, I'm in a really good role, but if I even take 2 weeks off and I come back, I'm right back to being very nervous and sort of awkward. If you get me on a roll of shows, I think probably like the 5th show, I'm finally like, okay, these songs, and you know what works. And you got to figure that out. It's a performer thing for me. I've got like a performer block. But if I can get past those first 5 shows and I got a real thing rolling, I can go out there and perform a lot better than. But I resort back to recluse, awkward, nervous Myron very fast, and that I struggle with that a lot. Especially, I don't know why, but a lot of the big shows always happen after a long break. So coming into it, I can practice all I want, but my mindset's going to be weird if I don't have shows. So that's something I really struggle with, is the performer aspect, and that's people that I love, like James Brown being, number one, or Michael Jackson. But even Bob had a very good performer thing, and so did I feel like Tom Petty here and there, and I struggle with it. But if he can get me on a roll and keep me going, I start to open up a little bit more. But yeah, it's I still get very nervous.
I don't know that this will help you. I've never been a performer, but as a radio personality, I've done a lot of stage intros, so I've had to get on stage and stand in front of a microphone in front of a crowd and say things. And I find that when it's a big room full, I don't think about it.
Yeah,
it's like
absolutely.
Nobody's listening anyway. I just kind of focus on saying what I'm going to say. When it's 30 people and they can all see me and they're all listening, it's like, if I screw up, every single one of these people is paying attention to me. So I don't know if that helps.
No, that is
big crowd. Just like it's one, whatever. They're not listening. I'm just going to say what I say and play what I play.
It's such a weird human emotion, isn't it? You think 30 people, maybe 30 people were going to be watching you. Back in the day, you're about to hang. I was like, only about 30. If you got 1,000, you're probably the king.
Maybe that's the way to look at it. Different subject. One of my favorite artists that Dave, who brought us to your attention, Dave Cobb, produced was Brandi Carlile. And her newest record is with Elton John, somebody that she grew up. That was her idol. Yeah. So I'm asking you, if you could do a record with somebody who's still living, that would be like that Brandi doing with her Elton John. Is there an artist you would love to do a record with like that? Just kind of write everything and record everything.
Oh wow.
It's a big question.
Yeah,
but you have so many people you love. But
that's big. Most of them are passed on. Yeah.
It becomes a tougher question when you narrow it down to that.
Absolutely. I think I'd have. I'm trying to think who's alive.
I know.
I think I can think of 4, and I can't really bring it down to that, but I would love to do one with Jeff Lynne. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, he's near the end of his career at this point. Done touring.
Fogerty.
Still doing it. Just put a record re-recorded songs that he wrote.
Yes, and then Van the Man, and then Seeger.
Crazy, but yes.
That'd be very nuts to be able to work. And Clapton, I mean, there's people that are still alive that I would be fascinated to do it with. But I feel like Lynn is such a visionary as far as music goes. He's like very abstract here and there. Them ELO records are they're really fun. And I know he knows, that 50s doo-wop thing is here and there. That'd just be fun for me to see how his brain works and to add to that. But, maybe like Jeff Lynne or
have Jeff Lynne produce an album that you do with Van Morrison.
Yeah, that'd be wild. And I'm just such a sucker for Van Morrison's writing and vocal style. It's right up my alley, especially him being an Irishman. I can't believe he didn't struggle with some serious imposter syndrome. But he's just such an original, man. He's a real one. So, for sure. Especially those older records, I get captivated by those.
I've got all of them, so I know.
Yeah,
he's great too. Myron Elkins is my guest today. The newest record is called Nostalgia for Sale. You want to do one more?
Yeah. Let's. I'm gonna do a brand new one.
Oh, cool.
We just recorded this in Detroit, and we're excited about it. Especially with that full band backing it. It's really cool. But you can kind of hear the bones from it.
What's this song called?
It's called Winnin.
Winnin.
Yeah, it's all about losing.
Seems logical.
Yeah. All righty.
I lost my name and I lost my car. I've lost like I never lost before. Lost my mind and I lost my pride. I lost it somewhere down the line. But I'm winning. I'm winning tonight. I think I just might start living like I'm running out of time. Lost my dog, then I lost some weight. I lost it, but not the right way. Lost my girl, then I lost my thought. I lost my cool and I got caught. Oh, but I'm winning. I'm winning tonight. I think I just might start living like I'm running out of time. Oh, and I say I will, I won't, and I've got it. You know I'm stalling, 'cause I've never poured no reason from my pockets, and that's a problem. And you know my entire life I've been showing up late and staying out all night, and I've learned to take life day by day. I lost my chance, then I lost my bread. Started thinking I'd be better off dead. Lost my heart, then I lost my soul to the devil and his rock and roll. But I'm winning tonight. I think I just might start living like I'm running out of time. Oh, I'm winning tonight. I think I just might start living like I'm running out of time. Out of time, out of time.
Nice. A preview of the forthcoming record from Myron Elkins on Acoustic Alternatives at Grove Studios. GroveStudios.space if you want to check out what the space looks like. If you want to rent it yourself and see where you can do a podcast, practice your band, or practice your DJ skills, GroveStudios.space. Thanks to them for being such great hosts of the podcast. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love
we're, like I said, we're constantly evolving, constantly writing, and we're free. We're free agents now, so we're ready to start putting out some stuff in the world. We got a lot to say.
I like it. All right, one final question.
Yep.
I'll set it up this way. I used to think the biggest threat to music really was that musicians of a younger age weren't going to have any incentive to go into it because it's so hard to make money doing it. Mm-hmm. Now, AI can write a song, and I don't know that it's AI. I mean, I do, but sometimes that could be the biggest threat. Well, how do you feel, and have you even thought about how AI could change the music industry?
The industry part, as I've confessed already, I'm just not super privy or good at it. But we were just in Spain, and it was a country music festival, and they were playing AI country music, and it was straight AI. The singer, the songwriting, the album cover.
They were playing it.
Yeah, they were playing it
in the overhead system.
Yeah, and you could tell the translation was kind of
iffy.
Loose.
Yeah.
If you listen to that, I don't think you should be at one of my shows anyway.
I agree. But there is a different feeling.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it will probably take some audience probably away from actual artists, but
can't replace live music.
No, and it's gonna be kind of Darwin's theory at that point. If you're gonna sit there and listen to whatever that is, then
I feel bad for you.
Yeah. Well, have fun.
Myron, thank you for sharing your insights, your stories,
Absolutely.
your songs with me. It's such a pleasure to meet you, and I really wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
What an interesting way to get to where you are, and I just hope that I know you started off with this big thing, but you still have the same and growing talent, as I've noted between the two records. I think the new record's better, which means your
Thank
songwriting's
you.
getting better,
Thank
which
you.
means you're going to just keep getting better.
Yeah, well, that's the goal, man. You're always one step closer to Ray Charles. So
Well, good luck on the road out there, and keep in touch. And again, thanks for playing that new song.
absolutely, thank you.
Thanks for listening to Acoustic Alternatives. There will be another one. There'll be another podcast. I don't have anything scheduled until October, but we'll try and squeeze something else in there. We've got a few irons in the fire. But thanks for checking it out. Subscribe if you haven't before. Check out some of the previous podcasts I've done with folks like Jeff Daniels and Glenn Phillips of Totally Bad Sprocket, Brian Van Ork of the Verve Pipe. They've all been in, and I'd love for you to check those out.